Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to take some notes on the volume of pyramids and cones. Now, if you look here, this volume formula for pyramids and cones looks very similar to the formula for prisms and cylinders, except after you multiply the base and the height, you just divide by 3. Now, I also want you to take a look down here really quick. All of these figures, pyramids and cones, come to a point either at the top or at the bottom, it doesn't matter where, but if they come to a point, you know to treat it just like its prism version. So rectangular prism, you would find the volume of the rectangular prism for this, and then just divide by 3 to get the pyramid version. And the same thing goes for the cone over here. You would find the volume of its cylinder version, and then just divide by 3 to get the cone version. So what exactly is a pyramid? Well, it's a three-dimensional figure. Again, we're dealing in 3 dimensions because we're dealing with volume. We can actually fit something inside of this pyramid or this cone. That means we're dealing in 3 dimensions, which we have length, we have width, but we also have depth, or in this case, we call it the height, if you remember from our first video. So it's a three-dimensional figure that has a polygon. It doesn't matter what it is. In this case, we're only dealing with rectangles and therefore squares, and also circles, which we call cones. And they have this polygon either on the bottom or it can be inverted. This rectangle can be on the top and come to a point at the bottom and comes to a point. Okay, so that's what a pyramid is. Just think the pyramids of Giza or think an ice cream cone. So with these pyramids and cones, we have something else that I have already referred to in the first video, but now we're going to dig into a little bit more. It's called slant height. So slant height is the distance along the outside of the figure from the point, this point up here, to the base right there. This is the base down here, and that line right there makes a right angle with the base. That is the slant height. So imagine if you were on the outside of the pyramids of Giza and you literally treated them like steps and you started walking up the outside of that pyramid. You are walking the slant height of the pyramid, okay? And we looked at a couple examples in the first video where I gave you the slant heights. And to find the actual height, which is if you drilled a hole straight down the middle, like from the top of the pyramid, if we drilled a hole straight down there, that's the height that we want to find the height, which is right here. That's that height right there. That's the height that we want. And how we did that is we just used Pythagorean theorem. You take typically we will give you this whole length right here, and this smaller leg of the right triangle is just going to be half of that. And then we want to find h right here, and then I'll give you this, which is your hypotenuse, Pythagorean theorem, and there you go. So let's take a look at some examples. So we need to find the volume of a cone. So let's just draw ourselves a little cone here. So we want to find the cone, circle, up to a point. There we go. Has a slant height. So that's going to be this guy on the outside over here. That guy. Slant height of 13. And we have a radius of 5. And this guy is 5. All right, so now we know that we need to drill a hole. We want to find this guy right here. We want to find h. So we just need to do Pythagorean theorem for that. So we do h squared plus our other leg, which is 5, that's squared, equals 13 squared. That's our slant height. So h squared plus 25 equals 13 squared is 169, that's what I thought. Subtract the 25 over, and h squared is equal to 144. And then we take the square root of both sides, and we get h is equal to 12. So now we have our height, which is the small h in our volume formula. So Our volume formula is big B times little h, and divide by 3 this time, because we're doing a volume of a cone, comes to a point. So what is big B? Well, big B is the area of the figure that's on the bottom, whatever it is. In this case, it's a circle. So area of a circle is pi r squared. So big B is equal to pi times 5 squared. So big B is equal to 25 pi. I'm just going to leave it in terms of pi for right now and then use the calculator at the very end. Okay, so I have volume is equal to big B, which I just found 25 pi, times our small h, which we found in the first step, which is 12, and then divide by 3. And we get a volume of 25 times pi times 12 equals divided by 3, 314, and let's round to the nearest tenth, 0.2. 314.2. And what are my units? There are no units, but if there were units, it would be in terms of cubed. So units are always, that's an S, always cubed. So like cubic meters or cubic centimeters or cubic feet, something like those, okay? All right, so let's take a look at this other example down here. We have Braco. They want to make an artistic monument in front of their headquarters. It's their 50th anniversary. The monument will be a pyramid, and they've given us a picture of said pyramid. It's got a square base, obviously, because it's 5 times 5. That's a square. And it's made out of granite. If the density of granite, oh, there we go. There's our density. So now we know we're going to need to use density, and that's the DMV formula, the dreaded DMV. So we got D equals mass, density equals mass divided by volume. That's the DMV formula. Anyway, so density of granite is 27.5 kilograms per cubic meters. And what is the total weight of the monument? So typically in these things, if you remember from the first video, it was a 3-step process. We found the volume of the figure, and then we plugged, and they gave us the density. So we plugged those 2 figures in to find the mass. And then in the first problem, in the first video, it wanted to know the total cost. So we took that mass and we multiplied it by how much money it was per pound of whatever substance they were using to make that. I think it was brass. In this case, it's only a 2-step process. We find the volume, they give us the density, and then we just want to plug into the DMV because it's only asking for what's the weight. And whenever it's asking for the weight, that's just asking for mass. So this is just a 2-step process. And they were also nice to us. They didn't give us the slant height. They gave us the actual height, so we don't have to do an extra step like that either. They were so nice, aren't they? Okay, so we got V is equal to our big B times our height divided by 3. Divided by 3 because we're dealing with a pyramid. It comes to a point. Well, what is big B? Big B is the area of our figure, which is a square on the bottom. And square is just side squared. So B is equal to 5 squared, which is equal to 25. We already have our height because they gave it to us. That is 12. So we have all of our values. Let's just plug in. So we get V is equal to big B, which is 25, times our height, which is 12, and then all divided by 3. 25 times 12 equals divided by 3 equals 100. So the volume of this monument, which is shaped like a pyramid, is 100 what? It is meters cubed. Because we have meters times meters times meters, meters cubed. Okay, second step is we just plug in our D and our V and solve for M. So we have our D, which is 27.5, and this is going to be kilograms per cubic meter is equal to the m, which is what we want to try and find, and then this is 100 meters cubed or cubic meters. And then when we cross, and not cross multiply, but when we multiply both sides by 100, these two cubic meters are going to cancel each other out, just leaving the kilograms, which is what mass is in terms of. So we multiply both sides by 100, and we will get a mass of 27.5 times 100. Just move the decimal place to the right twice, and we get 2750 kilograms. Boom. There we go. Alrighty, so just to recap, whenever you're dealing with a figure that comes to a point, you just take the base times the height like you would for the prism version and just divide it by 3. And that's the only difference between pyramids and cylinders and prisms, okay? Alrighty, if you need any help, just please feel free to jump onto the virtual office hours, which are on Tuesday and Thursdays from at 2 o'clock. We're going till 3 o'clock, but if you want to stay on past 3, that's totally cool. All right. As always, be safe and be healthy, and I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.